Hey guys, Shane, Garage of Constant Sorrow. Alright, what we doing today? Well, we're gonna get started on this rear suspension. Let me show you. I took it out driving after I got it running, and it makes so much noise. I expected the front end to make some noise because all the steering components have a little bit of play in them. So, you know, the front end was a little boop, boop, boop. But what I didn't expect was the loud clanking and clunking and banging in the rear end. So I got to looking around. Let me show you. This is what we got. So there is the front bushing of the leaf spring. And it's a little off, yeah. But here's where the problem lies. Where are we at? Oh wait, hang on. Let me get you under here. Better. Look at this. That's the rear shackle of the leaf spring. That is the frame. There's the leaf spring. They're sitting on top of each other. Those bushings are so worn out that it's just totally sitting on the frame. So I got a energy suspension kit. It shows that it's in this year range. It was a real wide year range from like late 60s all the way to 79 for all the Nova, Omega, Ventura, whatever else there was. So we're gonna try this. First time I've ever done this. Now the front bushing that's in it is encased in a metal sleeve that actually is pressed into the leaf spring. We're gonna have to force that out with what I'm gonna use an air hammer. See if I can't just give it one of those and see if we can get it out. The new bushing actually doesn't have any sleeve. And they're made in halves. What do I do with that? I'll show you later. They're made into halves where you just slide each half in, one from this side, one from this side, and put them in the mounting point wherever it goes. Stick the bolt through. All right, so we'll show you that after a while. Let me get set up here. I'm going to jack it up, and we want to jack it up and jack stand the frame. Don't jack stand under the rear end because we want the rear end to sag down so the leaf spring will drop as soon as we remove those bolts. All right. Well, we took the tire off. Now we've got the jack underneath the leaf spring because the shock is going to have to come out or just disconnect the lower mount in order to drop either side of this thing. So the shock has an internal stop in it. It only expands a certain amount. So whenever we undo this bolt, this suspension should drop down a little bit. Now it's going to only go so far because the leaf spring's mounted on the 2 points on either end of it. But also, whenever we disconnect one of the mounts, it's going to want to drop out really quick. So plus I don't want to let it go too far because I don't want to overextend that hose, and I don't want to disconnect it and put air in the line, have to re-bleed it. So we're just going to use the jack and be very careful about how far we drop it down. All right, be back. Well, here, we'll let you watch a part of this. So we got there. There we go. Easy peasy. Now that's gonna have some tension. Let's see. There we go. Take a little tension off. So this, yeah, it's movable at least now. No. Right there. Oh, no, that's just on this side. Good Lord. Just a touch. There we go. Voila. Just French for, and then I found out. Little Deadpool reference there. Okay, let me go get pry bar, because it seems to be stuck in there pretty good. Alright, so this is interesting. Looks like this bolt is going to run into the frame rail if we try and slide it out. So we're going to have to take the whole bracket off first and then remove this bolt. 3 bolts, 1, 2, and one up in here, 3 right there. Hopefully this bolt is not seized to the inner sleeve, which would mean we would have to cut it out. We'll have to wait and see. All right, let me drop this down real quick. All right, cross your fingers. This thing is not totally rusted together. Ooh, it moved. Ha ha! All right. Just start this one. It moved as well. Cool. It moved. Good. All right. Now, I want to do, I need probably to, oh no, it's loose enough. Okay, we're good. Thought I was going to have to jack up the jack and tighten this up a bit, but looks like they're fairly loose. Actually, I might be able to get that out now. There we go. Finish it off by hand. You got those weird pointy bolts. Drop her down and see what happens. Oh, we got movement. How far can we go? We gotta watch that hose and anything else. What else is attached to that? Oh, the emergency brake cable. I don't want to overextend that. There's not a whole lot of play in that. Dang it. Let's see if I can spot that. That's welded to the frame. Damn it. What are we rolling over? There's a, I don't know if you can't see it, but here, let me take this out. Hang on. Sorry. So we got a little play here if we get it out of this bracket, if you will. I can move this, or let this cable go from here to here. but we still don't have movement on this, so I don't know how far it's gonna have to go. All right, I'll be back. All right, so the nut came off pretty easily, right here. Oh wait, I don't know if I showed you. I dropped this down. Dropped it down, and there's a little tang that goes into a square hole underneath here that I'm probably gonna have to drop the back end and move it forward because the tang is gonna get in the way. If I just push this up, it's not gonna line up with the hole. I'll show you later. Anyway, what I'm gonna do right now is put this nut back on. I tried pushing on this bolt and it's not budging, so I'm just gonna go ahead and hit it with the air hammer. But we want to put the nut back on and make it flush with the end of the bolt. Right about there. Because we don't want this slipping off and damaging the thread in the process. Big air tank, so I need to probably bump up the pressure. Hang on a second. And it's leaking out of here. Good Lord. Constant sorrow. Hang on. Full pressure. Alright, for some reason it was on about 50 psi. We bumped her up to 90. Not moving. I don't believe. We're gonna have to cut that sucker out of there. Just great. Cheap little performance tool air hammer just doesn't have enough oomph. Oh, and another thing, this thing has these body clips where the bracket, this bracket is mounted to the underside. There's these clips, so this is the bottom half of one of those clips. Top half is still in there, but top half has the threaded part. So when I go to put the bolt back in, it's just going to push the top half into the frame somewhere. So I need to see if I can buy some more of those. Stick it in there. Old car shit, you know. Alright, let me think this through, see how we're going to cut this. We may just get a reciprocating saw. Get the blade at an upward angle like this. Should work, I think. What am I running into? Out of my way. So yeah, we're gonna have to cut through some rubber on this inboard side. But I can see the bolt on this outboard side, so the outboard will be really easy to cut through. Another thing I noticed is they put this this bushing in. The one I saw on YouTube, the guy removing this sleeve, it was going in from the back side, or from the inboard side. This one's mounted from the outboard side, which means I'm gonna have to push it out this way, which is a bigger pain in the ass because it means I'm gonna have to get way underneath here and get at it from that side. So there we go. I'll be back. All right, I actually got the outboard side sawed off. There it is, if you can see that, I don't know. And this other inboard side is a little tighter. Like I said, it's right up against the rubber, so it's making a little smoke. That's kind of tough. Come on now. Yeah, teeth are still good. I need a rest. You guys want to come over and help? Appreciate it. Now I got sweat in my eye. Alright, I'll let you know when it's done. Alright, it's off. But look at this, this is funny. When I cut this side, it just, the end of the bolt just fell out. I got this side, check it out. The bolt head is tied in there. Let's see if it just taps out. Huh. Nope. Interesting. Now let's try this. Look at that. Nope. Huh. That's funny. Alright, we're gonna have to knock that sucker out. I wonder if we can get to it. That. Yeah, hang on a second. Alright, can you see this? No. See that? Yes. Okay. Oh. Huh. That is in there. Oh my God. All right. Well, try something else. Okay, well, let me think about this, and we'll get back to you. Alright, so it was easier than I thought. Just put it in the vise and hit it with the impact. Came right out. There we go. Now, alright, so you can see how off-center that bolt is. Be surprised if this wasn't touching. Oh well, would have been touching in here. No, it's not. That one definitely is. Right, so the everything I'm seeing is you're supposed to drill out this rubber and basically drill all the way through, in different spots. And then I saw one guy that drilled like the very outside edge and then ran the drill around it, or ran the bit around this whole circumference. And it looked very easy, but something tells me he already had it done, because it was like zoop around and super easy, but it's never that easy, as you can see by this bolt. So now I gotta get a new bolt. Let me get a bit and see what we can do. All right, we got the bit, we got the drill. Don't know how much battery power we have. I know I got sweat going in my eyeballs. So hang on one second. I began to carry a towel with me everywhere I go if I'm going to be working on anything. I just sweat. Well, okay. Should have expected that. Oh, no way! You mother puss bucket. Oh, damn it. Alright, hang on. Now I gotta get another. Alright, well. Those bits are not as strong as I thought. And they have lasted me through a lot of stuff. Now, I've had this bit set forever. And I've only broken one other one, and it was one of those really, really thin ones, like a 16th or 3/32 or something like that. This was a 1/4 inch. Damn. This is whatever the next size up from 1/4 is. I don't know. 5/16. So it's the next big step. It's not a 30-second step. This is actually working. Hang on. It's walking its way around that bushing. Dang it. But I'm on a creeper, so it's on wheels and I keep moving. Damn it. It worked. Holy shit. I can't believe that. No, it wasn't big enough. But you see, it already started coming out when I pulled the bit out. Check it. Honestly, I cannot believe that works. That's hilarious. Nothing works like that. Whoop, how do I do this? Right. I might have to get a hammer and a punch from the other side. There's a punch, there's a hammer. Move that out of the way. Not enough room to swing. Dang it, how am I gonna do this? I might have to use that bit again. Just walk it out. Hang on, let's try that. I do not have enough room to swing a hammer under there. So, we're gonna try. Ooh, it's working. Look at that! Ha 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 ha! That's freaking awesome. I never expected that to work. Wow. I mean, even though in comparison that's going to be easy compared to getting this sleeve out, but still, that was cool. Honestly, I love it. I probably ruined that bit though. Doesn't look too bad. All right. Yes. It's still pretty hefty, like a rubbery, solid. Kind of figured it would be squishy after all these years, but pretty solid. Cool. We're gonna throw that somewhere. All right, let me figure out how I'm gonna get at this other piece, and we'll get back to you. All right, it's a good thing that rubber came out so easy, because this metal part isn't. Let's see. All right, so basically what I did was I cut a slit with that reciprocating saw straight all the way across right on the bottom here. Trying to bend this in here. Same from the other side. Bend it in, but it's only going so far. And it's going slow. So, aggravation has ensued. I will prevail. Alright, we're done here. And it's raining. Hello, tetanus shot. Alright, all bandaged up. Cleaned it, Neosporin and bandaged, so good to go. And let me show you where we're at here. We're close, we're so close. But now it's stopped moving in any direction. So I'll have to get a bigger hammer, I guess. And then this is the energy suspension setup. These are the big ones that go in the front, the one I'm working on now. It's got that. Yeah, no outer sleeve on these. They'll just sit right in the leaf spring itself. So very cool. I still have to buy a new bolt, and this is one of those clips that broke. So there's the two pieces of it. It should be all one together right there. So I'll have to find some more of these, at least two on this side, and whatever breaks on the other side. And then the center bolt that goes through this bushing. And we'll have to wait and see what we need on the back side too. Because constant sorrow. Anyway, all right, we'll probably come back to this tomorrow and keep you posted. Well, here we are, next day. I actually got out here before I turned the camera on and finished getting this shell out. Let me show you what we got here. All right, so there it is. Ended up using the reciprocating saw to cut a line, as you can see, actually two. And getting this piece out first, and then folding the rest of it in to make it smaller diameter. Came out. And of course it's super rusty, so got me a wire wheel which fits perfectly in that hole. You should have seen all rust dust that came flying out of there. All right, now we need, let's see, where's the one I already got? Yeah, this and that. And they give you a whole bunch of this grease. Formula 5 Prelude, which I'm guessing you put on the outside of this bushing to push it into the that hole. All right, let me get you in the stand here. All right, now we got, try and do this without kicking this tripod. So if I do, I apologize. Oh, and I looked this morning also for these clips, and I found some. Where was it? I think it was Classic Industries. Had some exactly like this with this exact shape right here, because the piece of metal that's got to go over is like bent up like this, so that it needs that little piece to go right there. But I found some, and you know, they ship them ground, so it takes, you know, at least a week to get here. So I checked Amazon and found some on there that were not exactly the same, but that they appear that they will work, and they come with the bolts to go in it as well. So those should be here in a couple days. Let's look at this here. I'm not gonna super clean this. I hit it with that wire wheel. We're just gonna do this, wipe it out a little bit. Call that good enough. All right, now we've got, just tear that off, I guess. A little spooge on here. All right, a little smear. Boy, this stuff's thick. I need a little more than that. Well, no, that'd be good. That's fine. Hopefully. All right. This side first. Hopefully. Maybe. Oh, great. It's pretty tight. Come on, do your thing. Oh man. Huh. Nope. The old grippers aren't gonna do it. I'm gonna need something to squeeze these together. Actually, I need to look. I need to measure this. Hang on. Alright, because if that sticks out that far, both sides. Just make sure this is going to work. Yeah, I think it will. Okay. What can we use? I don't think I have any pliers with jaws that wide. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, well, we found C-clamp. Works pretty good. For half of it anyway, so I just put it over, you know, had to do like here, 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 a little bit at a time, you know, move one side, the other side, bottom, top. So that one is seated fully. Let me Put a little spooge on this one. Like I said, it didn't take much because it's pushing it out as I slide this in there anyway. So on this one, I'm going to put a little on the inside as well, because I gotta get on that inner sleeve, the metal sleeve. Alright, so let's go down this way. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I don't know. In the middle, right there. And there we go. Now, get it started at least by hand. I don't know if this thing's gonna be wide enough to go around all, and it's not. Damn it. Only a 4-inch C-clamp, so it's gotta be, I need about another ½ inch to get around this. Okay, so that's not gonna work. What else? Let's see if we can squeeze this a little bit. Turn. Okay. Hold, please. I got it. Look at this. Woodworking tools for automotive use. Oh, except it doesn't want to go. Oh, come on. Dang it, man. Well, I thought I had it. Alright. Hang on, I got another set. Let's see if that works. Okay. I used a little ingenuity. I couldn't find my other woodworking clamp. So this is what we got here. Check it out. We're just gonna put that around it, squeeze it down a little at a time. Boom. Alright. Should work just fine. I hope, because, well, it depends on how deep these nuts go down on this. Shit, that's probably gonna be too far. I don't know. We may just have to crank on it by hand with a open-end wrench or a box end, either one. Kind of hoping I could just use the drill or impact, as it were. Right, because that's at the end of that right there, so can't use that. Unfortunately. Alright, that is 9/16. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. Little bit at a time. No, I'm not counting how many times I ratchet each side. Just going to play it by eyeball. be working. I have to keep this out to the other side. Now that I know, actually I could probably fit both of them in there at the same time and squeeze simultaneously. Look at that. Like a dream. Good. Oh, a little bit farther. Hang on. Got stuck on the threads right here. Alright, that's okay. Just give it a little left tap. Pry like this. Boom. And we have to left tap this up. There we go. There you have it. Now, that is going to have to squeeze in there. Don't make it too tight. Oh, come on, don't. Yeah, that's gonna be tight. Toy. Like a toiga. You know what I need to do? Hang on, I should have done this first. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Should be fine. We'll get it on one way or the other. If nothing else, I might have to mount this up in there first and then put the weight of the vehicle to push the bushings up inside there. I don't know, but I can't mount that yet until I get those clips. So that'll be a couple days before I can do that. In the meantime, I need to evaluate whether or not I can support this. Whoop, hang on. Zoom. Unenhanced. Maybe put a jack stand into this side while I work on that side because I can't mount this yet. So, yeah, because I'm going to have to jack that up, put a jack stand right here. Maybe right there. And then undo this one and lower it down with the jack. Okay, let me think about that. Alright, so, what we did, we cleaned it up a little. It had some, just some gunk and rust and stuff on this surface, so a little grinder, a little wire wheel, smoothed it out. We'll put a little spooge on there. On this piece and on the bushing. Actually, I want to spooge up everywhere that I've exposed bare metal. Trying to keep it from rusting any further. Right there. I need some more on this piece. don't know if you guys can see this or not. And I got a little grinder happy. I got there too. All right, now. And a little on here. Be a mechanic. Alright, all spooged up. Gotcha. Now, I'm just gonna see if we can't figure out. Let's see, it goes on that way. We're going to lower that jack down a little bit. Oh, you know what? I can't. Because that's tied against the emergency brake cable. Kind of holding it up, actually. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. We can slip this over here like so. And this stuff's gonna get everywhere. You can do it. No, you can't. Okay. Not. I wish I had. Hey, you know what? Screwdriver won't work. Hold, please. Okay, now, get in that hole, pry that way. Come on, just give me a little something. That's all right. Well, yeah, I might have to have this mounted in place. It does not want to go. Yeah, this is easier said than done. Okay, gotta figure something out. All right, so we went to the hardware store and we got grade 8. Got a new bolt, washers, nut. Because the clips, these clips, or there's part of one. Anyway, yeah, those you could get as a set with the bolts and washers and everything included. But theirs were grade 2, which I don't understand why they would even include a grade 2 in there. So I went ahead and put these together without you guys. So we got that in there, jacked it up a little bit. So as that spring compresses, it's gonna elongate, and so this little tab right here, you see that's supposed to go in that hole, so it will eventually stretch and drop into that hole. But I'm not going to mount it yet because I don't have the new clips. So we're going to put a jack stand here and work on the back. So let me get you guys set up where you can see, and I'll get back to you. Alright, well, it's worse than I thought. These things are so shot and so rusted, and I'm sure that bolt is rusted to the sleeve inside. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut these. I put a wrench on this thing and the whole shackle was moving forward and backward. So we're not gonna mess with that. Just gonna start cutting, and I'm not gonna subject you guys to that. So I'll let you know when it's done. All right, here we go. We got it off. There. So I'm not gonna be able to get the drill in there to clean that out with the wire wheel. So I'll probably just do good enough with a little handheld, what do you call it? Wire brush. I still gotta get the bushings out of there. They come out pretty easily, these did. And here they are. You can see how off center they were, how much wear was in these bushings. And this was an interesting plot twist. So the end of the bolt was stuck in there, so I brought it over to the what do you call this thing? That thing. Yeah. So I punched it out, but what I didn't realize was that a piece of the inner sleeve was still on it. So I don't know if you can see that right there. So when it popped it loose, it wallered out the hole and pushed this out this way. So I had to squish it all back down, and that closed the hole up a little too much. So then I had to drill the hole out again. But we're good. I'm not buying new shackles. Oh, and also this one end of this was a what do they call those? Carriage bolt. And they have one going in from one side like this, and the other one going in from the other side. But in order to get the lower one went in from this side. So I'm not reusing carriage bolts. I'm going to use just a regular bolt and go in from this side, because I'm not dropping this fuel tank to get a new bolt in here. So we got plenty of room right here to slide a bolt in that way. Enough room to get a nut on the end of it right there. So there we have it. And I might just stop this as a part 1, because I got to wait on those clips anyway. So I'll show you putting it all back together in part 2. All right. Peace out, and we'll talk at you later. Thanks for watching.